Who would have thought that the change from this to this would develop into 3 movies later with a 4th one on the way? You see, sometimes Hollywood, it does pay to listen to your audience. And welcome to my Safe Gayven, everybody. Thank you guys so much for clicking on another video and joining me here on the Black Gay Comic Geek channel. But if this is your first time checking out one of my videos, I did get a lot of subscribers after my Wicked review. Hey, how's it going? Thank you for subscribing. Let me reintroduce myself. My name is Michael. I call myself the Black Gay Comic Geek, and I always say the things that I love to talk about on my channel has blood, sex, gore, and magic, or any variation of the four. So I love to talk about fantasy, superheroes, comic books, action movies, horror movies, etc. And of course, I like to talk about black representation and queer representation. So if that's something that you are interested in, do me a favor, share the video with your other friends, hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment, interact for the all gay rhythm. Now with that said, guys, we are here to talk about Sonic 3. Who would have thought we would have even gotten a Sonic 3, especially after, like I mentioned in the intro, that first photo of Sonic that dropped. Like, most people thought this movie was just going to flop, but 3 movies in, and we basically got a franchise, and they just announced that Sonic 4 is coming. So yeah, guys, so let's talk about Sonic 3. Is Sonic 4 worth it? Was Sonic 3 worth going to the theaters to go see? Let's talk about it. This is going to be a non-spoiler review. The movie actually just came out today. So the synopsis for Sonic 3 is: Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails reunite to battle Shadow, a mysterious new enemy with powers unlike anything they've faced before. With their abilities outmatched in every way, they seek out an unlikely alliance to stop Shadow and protect the planet. Now, this movie is directed by Jeff Fowler, and he directed the other 2 movies. And I gotta say, like, I enjoyed this movie. Like, overall, I enjoyed the Sonic franchise. Like, outside of the little fumble that they had with the ugly looking Sonic that they created when they first released the trailer for this movie, these movies are fun. These movies definitely bring back that nostalgia feeling of growing up playing the Sega Genesis and playing the Sonic games. Sega! And then also, I didn't really watch the Sonic cartoons like that, so I don't really know, and that's where a lot of the lore and things like that really came from. A lot of the characters that we know from the Sonic world, they came from that cartoon as well, so I didn't really see a lot of that. But I played Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3, and you could definitely tell that there's a lot of fun being had while making these movies, and there is a love for the franchise. Now, with that said, I will say for me personally though, like I said, I did enjoy this movie, and I would like to see a Sonic 4, and I can't wait to see a Sonic 4. But I will say for me, out of the 3 movies, I gotta go back and watch Sonic 2, maybe. So take this with the caveat, because I have to rewatch Sonic 2, but I will say this is probably the weakest of the Sonic movies for me, only because I feel like this movie was kind of rushed, and I also feel like the dialogue was not as good. Not to say it has to be great Oscar award worthy dialogue, this is a Sonic movie, but I feel like everything that was said through all the characters was basically exposition. It was just like, hey, where do we need to go, Sonic? Well, we need to go here because we need to do this and take out this and this, and it was just like, it was almost the same criticism that people have for Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix, where it was just all expository dialogue. That's kind of how I felt about this movie. And like I said, this is a non-spoiler review, but even in how the movie started, it felt like it started just because the movie happened. So like, and this is like, again, the movie started where the villain is Shadow the Hedgehog, and obviously Shadow the Hedgehog has to be a threat, and this is in the trailer, so that's why I was like, I feel comfortable talking about this. But Shadow escapes his prison, and they don't really go into how he escaped. They just said at the beginning of the movie, oh, he's been trapped here for the last 50 years. He's not going anywhere. What changed? Because the movie started. That's really what changed. Like, nothing, there was no inciting incident. It was just like, the movie started, so let's get Shadow out. And it was just like, but wait, like, how did this happen? And while there was definitely some of that in the other movies, I felt like it was way more jarring in this particular movie, where it just felt like there was just a scattering of a bunch of scenes just to have the plot happen. But with that said, like I said, I enjoyed these characters. I enjoy Sonic played by Ben Schwartz, especially Idris Elba playing Knuckles. You could definitely tell he's having fun as Knuckles. And Keanu Reeves, for the most part, every role he plays, it's always Keanu, but I still liked him as Shadow. And even Jim Carrey as Ivo, he could have easily just shown up to collect a paycheck, but you could tell he's actually working to make the Ivo character work. And also on the flip side, the new character that he's playing that you saw in the trailer, he's playing Ivo's grandfather, Gerald Robotnik, and I honestly think he did a really good job in differentiating between the two characters and establishing the difference between Gerald and Ivo Robotnik. And I'm glad these movies have learned, like, for the most part, we don't care about the human characters. Granted, it sucks from the actor's standpoint because obviously they want to be in the movie, I'm pretty sure, and they want to get paid. But I'm glad, like, in this movie, there wasn't a lot of James Marsden, there wasn't a lot of Tika Sumpter, and I like Tika Sumpter and James Marsden, but like they were not in the movie that much, but also at the same time, the amount that they were in the movie was still somewhat impactful for the storyline and this found family that they created with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. Which, speaking of, that actually reminded me, I still need to watch and check out the Knuckles series that's on Paramount Plus. But also, with that said, just like with almost every movie that I criticize, what is my main criticism? It wasn't gay enough for me. Because, and obviously, a lot of people like to bring up, like when I mention it wasn't gay enough for me, they always think I'm talking about sex. I'm not talking about sex, but they kind of make it seem like really obvious that like Ivo and his main assistant, I can't think of the character's name, hold up, Agent Stone, but they kind of make it seem like there's more than, like, it's more than just a assistant boss relationship. Like there's a moment where Ivo, Agent Stone, just says like, I need you, like I can't lose you again, and all this other stuff, and I'm just like, just let it be gay, just let it be gay. Like obviously, yes, close relationships between two heterosexual males needs to be a narrative. It should be a narrative, and it is a thing. But time and 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 time again, it's always a close, intimate bromance, two sides of the same coin, but it's never just gay. Sometimes it's just gay. And people always say, why can't two men just be really close without it being gay? When it comes to movies, that's always the case. When it comes to TV shows, video games, that's always the case. I can think of one instance where it started out as a platonic friendship and it morphed into a queer romance. And that was the show Our Flag Means Death. Outside of that, they make these friendships so close that if it were a man and a woman, they would have totally gotten together. But yeah, but with that said, like I said, I enjoyed this movie. I would totally watch I would have totally watched more in the Sonic franchise. If I'm not having anything to do or whatever, I would definitely watch this movie again. Like I said, I gotta rewatch Sonic 2 to solidify my opinion on this, but I think out of all the Sonic movies, though, this is the one I like the least, but I like the characters the most in this movie. It's weird. It's a weird dichotomy. It's just because like the dialogue and the exposition, like I almost kind of feel like this could have been a short, like, not to say I felt the runtime, but I don't know. Like I felt like this particular movie would have been better if it was a show, because there was so much more story to tell, but I just feel like they just kind of rushed through it, almost kind of like it felt like they had to make this a movie, but they didn't have enough story to make it into a full movie. And so it was just like, let's rush through everything with exposition. But at the same time, they did have enough to make them, I don't know. It's weird, but I enjoyed the movie overall. But with that said, once you see Sonic 3, let me know your thoughts about Sonic, because I'm pretty sure I'm in the minority, because I've seen other people say they absolutely love this movie, how this movie this is their favorite movie in the franchise. So it's all subjective. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, if this is one of your first time checking out one of my videos, hopefully you check out the other videos on my channel. If you like what you see, hit that follow button. Tell your friends, families, and neighbors about my channel to help me continue to grow. And hit that bell notification button so you're alerted every single time I post a new video. And as always, I will catch you guys next time.